Hey, welcome, welcome. I see Mumsy is in house. Woo-hoo. Here for true crime, crazy crime stories in Cambodia. Got some good ones. Got some good ones today. They're all ready to go. Yeah. So why don't we just jump right into it? If anybody misses anything, they're just gonna have to watch it on replay. So let's see. Okay, I have to see which one we're going to start with. Share. I'm clicking share. Nothing's, I'm frozen. Aha, there we go. I'm like, I'm clicking share and nothing's happening. I think it's because I have so many tabs open. It doesn't know what to do. So let me try that again. Okay. Share. All right. Did it work that time? Let me see. Ta-da! Okay, it worked. Sorry about that. Wow. All right. Well, the teenager confesses to fabricating a kidnap plot to cover debt from an excessive perfume purchases. Yeah. Better close some. Maybe we'll see how it goes. So let me share about this one. So here she is. Her identity is blocked out because she's a teenager. She apologized to her family for her actions. She was 17 years old. And she caused a panic when she said that she had been kidnapped and had her money taken from her. However, it turned out that the incident was a tissue of lies. You know, sometimes the craziness is in the writing. The tissue of lies. I'm trying to even think okay, that's not right, but what are they trying to say? An issue of lies instead of tissue? I don't know. Designed to cover up the fact that she had squandered about $200 on perfume purchases. What? How do you spend $200 on perfume? In her confession, she said, I rode a motorbike out of my house and lied to my siblings, mother, uncle, and aunt that someone had kidnapped me and taken my money and taken me to an unknown location in the forest. But it was not true because I owed them $200 for buying perfume and had no money to pay them. I made up the story to get the money. I apologize publicly for having committed such an act. I promise that I will stop doing it again because it is an act that affects national security. Please, all Facebook users, do not follow my example. Thank you. There you go. Okay. So we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, good. I was able to close that tab. So I can close the tabs as I go along, all right? DCC, that is like a dentist coalition, we'll see. Says the teen's death was not due to wearing braces. So here's an x-ray. This is not the person that this is just a general x-ray of teeth. It is not the person. It's not the person because there's no braces. Okay. Dental Council of Cambodia. That's what DCC is. issued a statement confirming that the death of a young teenage woman was not related to wearing braces, but rather to a congenital illness. So it was going around on social media that this young woman's death was caused by her braces. And members of the council pray for the deceased soul to rest in peace and offer sincere condolences to the family. And they want the public to know that it's taking the situation very seriously and conducted a comprehensive investigation with the appropriate authorities. Okay. So according to the initial report, the patient had a congenital immune compromised condition known as systemic lupus erythematosus that affected the body's immune system from birth. Patients with this condition are extremely vulnerable to infection as a result of the abnormality. So the patient was admitted to a national hospital in Phnom Penh with a diagnosis of acute sepsis, a serious infection that significantly impacts the respiratory system and other organs. Mosquito, darn, didn't get it. Maybe I can get this one. Ha! Gotcha. Another one bites the dust. So, according to a Facebook user, the family stated that she passed away due to an infection spreading to her heart and lungs caused by braces installed by an unskilled dentist that weakened her teeth and led to mouth ulcers combined with her underlying health conditions. And then they have a physician that says wearing braces does not affect life and is commonly used. It added that wearing braces leads to problem only if the person has a health condition. Right? So it's like a chicken and the egg thing. Did the sores did she already have these ulcers and sores in her mouth when the braces were put on? Were they caused by the braces, or did it just happen at, was it unrelated? The investigation says it's unrelated. See what you guys are saying. Hey, Gibbo in the house. Woohoo. Okay, next up. The Prime Minister orders unhindered access for ambulances during road closures. Now, they don't mean like road construction closures. What they're talking about are motorcades. Ambulances have gotten a pretty bad rap in Cambodia, I have to say. They are not given priority. You can have somebody like in a motorcade that's being escorted by the gendarmerie, and everybody, it's a packed road and people find a way to squeeze out of the way to let that gendarmerie, law enforcement, escort a politician or something, right? But when it comes to an ambulance, nobody moves. All right. And so the ambulances do have a hard time getting through traffic. And so this is a really, really, really good thing. So of course, not if it doesn't count if they're not transporting a patient. Okay. So if an emergency ambulance is transporting a patient to a hospital and they call it national and international convoys, it's a motorcade. That's the proper word. So they urge the police to facilitate the movement of the emergency vehicles without disruption. Because when you have a motorcade for miles, you've got every road where there's, an intersection or, not just intersections, but like a road that's coming like a T or something. An intersection applies, it goes all the way across. But even if it's a T, an access, if there's a road, there will be some form of police officer standing at each spot where, and then stopping traffic for that motorcade to go through. So basically, what he's saying is that currently, if there's an ambulance on the road that's being stopped for the motorcade, the police that are stopping the traffic need to help that ambulance get through. And as he says, even if it's his own motorcade, that the police are to help the ambulance get through. So there you go. He says, this task is crucial for saving lives, especially for ambulances, so it is necessary to facilitate their passage. So, this is great. This is great news. Good. Next up, we got some corruption. Assistant governor and accomplices arrested in $400,000 corruption bust. So this guy, I guess, Mr. Tit Vuti, deputy governor of Kampong Speu province, along with 2 accomplices, have been arrested by the anti-corruption unit in connection with defrauding a Chinese investor $400,000 in a mining license scam. So 56, 45, and 44 years old. Looks like 2 of them were Cambodian and 1 was Chinese. So there is some crackdown on corruption going on in Cambodia, and that's a good thing. Next up, we have an update in last week's hard jump kidnap case. All right. So we saw the video of the man jumping out of the car. Well, there has been an arrest. So let's see we've already watched the video last week. If you didn't see it, then you got to go back and watch last week's show. Immediately after receiving the information, the police and expert forces conducted an investigation and found out that it was a kidnapping for ransom. And they've now arrested one of the Cambodian members of the gang responsible for the kidnap attempt. I was going to say it's the taxi driver, it's the driver of the car, because I'm sure that they have the license plate. And sure enough, that's what it is. 37-year-old taxi driver from Takao province. Poor guy. Got greedy and agreed to help. According to the sources, the 38-year-old Chinese man left China to live in Australia to run a business with an Australian male business partner. And that person, introduced, said, oh, come to Cambodia. And then, we learned all about what happened last week. But there's your update. They arrested the taxi driver. It's everywhere. Corruption. Yeah. Okay, next up. I thought this was kind of interesting. In the current climate of political correctness, wouldn't you call these people transgender instead of female impersonators? It's kind of weird. But in Siem Reap, they were arrested for stealing a foreign tourist's wallet. And look at that. They had to pixelate her midriff. Ooh, $5,000 in the tourist's wallet. The incident happened at 3 a.m. at an abandoned stall on Pub Street in Siem Reap. So what were you, Mr. Tourist, what were you doing at 3 a.m. on Pub Street? Okay. So there's the two people arrested, 32 years old and 39 years old. And the suspect stole the wallet from Askin Mehmet, a 50-year-old Turkish national. He lost $5,300 US dollars, his passport, 2 bank cards, his driver's license, a work card, an ID card, and a vehicle registration card. Police said that they immediately tried to kill the mosquitoes. Immediately went to the scene and conducted an investigation, including checking security cameras, until they identified the suspects at 6:00 p.m. in front of a rented room. They arrested the suspects in the rented room and recovered the stolen items. After questioning, they both confessed. And here, this is a standard police crime thing, if you haven't seen it before, where whoever committed a crime, they take a picture with them and whatever evidence, the evidence of the crime. Oh, wait, there's some more here. Okay, they confessed that they stole the wallet. He then took out all the money in the wallet, totaling $4,000, and gave the wallet and its content. So he took out $4,000. They gave the wallet and its contents to accomplices who threw it in the forest in front of the rented room. Oh, that wasn't very far. In front of the room. Then they went out and spent $300 until the police called them in for questioning. There you go. Crazy stories in Cambodia. Next up. Okay, I haven't read this one. So just in case anybody is might have any leads, if you're in Cambodia and watching this, you have any leads, please contact the authorities. Desperately seeking justice, a family's quest to find their father's killer still goes on 3 weeks after his death. So here's a truck. There's an oncoming traffic. Let's see exactly what happened. Oh, somebody on a bicycle. So a 66-year-old male was killed instantly at 5:00 in the morning. That's a normal time for Cambodians to wake up. You know, it starts getting light around 5:30 a.m. between, you know, that dusky dawn kind of, you know, that gray. The sun hasn't really come over the horizon, but it's getting light. The birds start singing 5:30 for sure. When he was hit by a sand truck, which then fled the scene, leaving his corpse behind. They have not yet found the vehicle and the driver, but based on the family's camera footage, the suspect vehicle was a white 6-wheeled sand truck with no license plate. It says the direction he was going. The family are calling on the police to help investigate and arrest the driver. They're not satisfied with the investigation. They've raised 2 questions that they say have not been answered by police. Why did the deputy chief chase the car on a motorbike and then disappear after the car had gone about a half kilometer, according to eyewitnesses? And why did the commune administration, so like the there's not the police, but kind of like City Hall, you know, would have every village has like a city hall representative. So they're called administrative. Didn't get the mosquito. He received the information and responded, but did not intervene. So why did he not intervene? So they're calling on the governor of the province to help investigate and arrest the driver. There's his. Now I've noticed this, that funerals now are starting to use these LED lights, which I had never seen until just the last couple of days. I've seen pictures and video of these LED lights. I like the blue. That's nice. I guess you just use whatever's the favorite color of the family. So yeah, you can use blue. By the way, here you can see funerals are not, people do not wear black. They wear white to represent the spirit, right? And then the oldest son will usually shave off their head and spend a month as a monk. It's funny because I don't think I've ever seen clothes that look like karate outfits. I've seen people wear white, obviously. But whatever, okay. So if you are in Cambodia and you know anything, back to just you. Well, that's all right. Oh, I see what you're saying. Did you get to see that one at all? Okay, wait. Share, sorry. Where is this one? Oh, here it is. So this is the blue lights I was talking about with the funeral. Here's the people wearing white. Here's the sand truck caught on a security camera that they're saying that a police officer actually followed the sand truck for about a mile or whatever, and then just disappeared. There's the bicycle. There's the blue lights. Again, you can see the blue lights and the families dressed up. All right. Next up. Discipline enforced on 4 police officers for offenses including releasing a foreigner for money. So I thought this sounds interesting. Again, a crackdown on corruption. And in fact, I didn't even include all the corruption ones, and I didn't include all the deaths either. Just trying to stick to things that are maybe unique in Cambodia. So they accepted bribes in the exchange for the release of suspects. Yes, got it. Another one bites the dust. Oh, now the cats are scared. It's okay. There was a complaint from 24 officers. Wow, directly to the Prime Minister, accusing the 4 officers of corruption and requesting their removal. So then the investigation found that a lieutenant colonel had been involved in corrupt practices, including selling evidence from traffic accident crimes, such as a Toyota Camry and a homemade tractor. He was also accused of accepting $5,000 in exchange for releasing a Bangladeshi national who had illegally crossed the border into Cambodia in January of this year. The 4 officers were also found to have demanded $500 from their subordinates in exchange for rank promotions. They also required the parents of drug suspects to pay $200 each for the suspect's release, and forced subordinates in each unit to pay $400 per room to work in the new district police station building. Oh, So the district gets a new police station, and then they're charging the police officers $400 rent to work in the room. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There you go. See, I'm telling you, it's crazy stories. Oh, Andy is in the house. Look at those beautiful butterfly emojis. Thank you so much. And unicorns for Mumsy. Yeah. My goodness. Okay, next up. In pictures, I know that illegal immigration is like this huge issue in the United States, right? So what does Cambodia do? Well, and the interesting thing is that these are Cambodians that were trying to cross the border as migrants to work in Thailand. So there were Thai smugglers transporting them through the border. Here they all are. This is the Thai police station. You know, 2 male drivers, 2 Thai drivers, and 16 Cambodian workers. They had no documents to enter Thailand. And so they took them for further legal action. Hey! Cat fight, just a second. Hey, hey! 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 Bebe! 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 Wow, baby was attacking Artemis. But they're separated now, don't worry. Yeah, so in fact, there's talk of building a wall between Thailand and Cambodia to stop this kind of illegal migration. Next up, call for better worker transport safety. So, you know, sometimes we'll see in the news an accident happens. And so I thought, you know, if I show this one, so this is the standard transportation. So basically, the factory provides transportation from all the different villages around the factory to bring the workers to the factory to work. And basically, they're all standing in these. Actually, I think that they've actually made an attempt of putting roll bars up, right? They can also put a tarp across for sun, you know, for heat or for rain. But they didn't used to have that. They used to just like have to wear the plastic raincoats, you know, and they'd just be in open trucks and be transported. So nearly 80 civil society groups have called on the government to reform and strengthen the safety standards of means of transport for workers in the garment, textile, and footwear sectors. Basically, factory workers. Woohoo! Another one bites the dust. Says, when they use trucks, workers often travel crowded together with some even standing. That is a significant risk. We want to establish a system where transportation involves passenger vehicles, such as buses, right, with proper seating so that workers can sit comfortably and safely with a set limit on the number of passengers, instead of just crowding them all in, you know, as many can jump on there. We have observed that up until now, some drivers have transitioned from transporting workers using trucks to transporting workers using buses, and others have modified their vehicles to provide proper seating to ensure the safety of the workers. The ministry is continuing to advise drivers to respect all traffic laws. Yes. Another one bites the dust. Ensure the safety of passengers, prohibiting reckless driving or the use of intoxicants or drugs while driving. We must remember that the lives of the passengers in the back are extremely valuable, and as drivers, we must ensure that we drive safely to prevent any accidents from occurring. There you go. So that would be a good thing. Okay, here's a funny one. They're using the word catapult. I'm not sure who wrote this headline, all right? Because as we can see in the picture, it is a slingshot, not a catapult. I don't know. Is it a British thing? Gibbo, are you still in the house? Do you guys call a slingshot a catapult? Because in my vocabulary, that is a slingshot with rocks. So he attacked a neighbor with a slingshot. He fired 3 shots. Woohoo! Look at that. Good job. He fired 3 shots. So he's 52, and he fired 3 shots at a 43-year-old female resident, hitting her in the eye, causing swelling of the eye, a laceration to the inner eyelid, and a laceration to the left knee. Wow, dude, what happened? I mean, why? Because he was drunk and started a fight with his neighbor. There you go. She went to the hospital for treatment. There's his picture holding his holding the evidence, as is the standard in Cambodia. Let's see, you guys saying anything? No comments yet? What happened? I don't have comments for 10 minutes. Where are you guys? You just listening? Okay, next up, citizens reminded strong penalties for producing pornography in Cambodia. So, the General Department of Anti-Technology Crime has recently reminded Cambodians and foreigners that producing, possessing, distributing, selling, renting, displaying, showing, or displaying in public, on social media, and on the internet pornographic images and videos, especially child pornography, is an illegal act. It's punishable with imprisonment from 7 days to 1 month and a fine of 100,000 to 200,000 reals. That's $25 to $50. Okay, so that's just for possessing it. Okay, possessing it or displaying it. If you're caught producing it, then it's from 1 month to 1 year and a fine from $25 to 2 million reals. And I don't know how many zeros that is. Well, 200,000 is $50. So is that $500? Add a zero, $500. That doesn't seem that. Oh, okay. Here, there's more. Okay. There's this. I was gonna say this still doesn't seem like enough, especially. Because if that's just for any pornography, if it's child pornography, now you get 2 to 5 years, and this is for possessing or producing. Well, no, possessing. All the possessing, distributing is of child pornography, 2 to 5 years and 4 million to 10 million reals. So if 2 million is 500, so it's $1,000 up to $2,500. But if you produce child pornography, it's punishment from 5 to 10 years. So good. Good, Cambodia. Oh, nothing new to say, just listening. Okay. We've got just a few more, about 5 more. Share this. Instead, make sure you're seeing the right thing. There we go. Phnom Penh authorities crack down on noodle shop owners who aggressively sprayed market vendors with a hose. Here he is. Here's the noodle shop vendor spraying the hose. And so water and fire extinguishers. It's happened on National Road 4. The administration has instructed the conflicting parties, to stop spraying water or doing anything that will harm the reputation and dignity of the traders on the opposite side of the road and the people that are traveling on the public road, which could affect their health. So see, here's somebody driving down the road. Looks like he's trying to hold it up instead of spray, let the guy go by. But why? What up? So these, see the brown, the tan color shirts are the administration, like I was saying, the city hall kind of has offices everywhere. This is like the city hall people rather than actual police officers, which would be blue or green if they're the gendarmerie. Light blue is traffic police. There's a special only traffic police as opposed to normal police. Anyway, is this guy in the red shirt? Is that the one that has the hose in here? Yeah. Well, there's 2 guys. Here's one red shirt and here's the other red shirt. Oh man, it doesn't give us any deets on like why they were upset with the vendors across the street. Taking their business? Oh my goodness. Well, that's all we're going to get on that story. Next up. Oh, this is great. This one is great. Congratulations to Cambodia for dealing with stupid foreigners. Stupid criminals of the day. Police arrest a foreign vandal who tagged the Kampot Bridge and make her clear up her mess. So here she is fixing, she tagged on this bridge. And so that, and here's the green gendarmerie. Yeah, so they're making her paint over it. They're making her clean up her mess. Do they have the tag? Here she is. She was caught on video spray painting. She just pulled over off the moto, gets her can of paint, writes this, gets her picture for social media. I don't even know what that, tech, T-E-K, right? R, what is X? Is it supposed to be Mr. Tech or Xer Tech? 25. Was it worth it? Was it worth it, lady? How stupid. So, they quickly identified her and took her to the police. There she is. Oh, isn't she so cute? Oh. And there she is, having to fix it, having to paint it. The police commissioner said, quote, "My country, my province has proper laws and customs. It's not up to you to do whatever you want. You must come back and clean the bridge as it was before. The authorities are going to pick up the foreign women who sprayed the railing of the Prek Kampong Bay Bridge to follow the legal procedures and clean it as it was before." There you go. Cambodia. Don't be dissing Cambodia. It's gonna make you clean up your mess. So next up, we got 3 more after this. Face of a predator. U.S. citizen sentenced to 9 years in jail for abuse in Cambodia. 9 years after federal prosecutors say He abused 4 children, 44 years old. Mr. Klein, multiple occasions. He had a laptop with hundreds of images of the abuse material. When he was first arrested, he was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison. Then he was later indicted in the US. So this was 2019. That was for 3 underage girls in 2019. He invited the girls from Pub Street to his accommodation, paying them a total of $120. He was deported to the US in 2023. So I guess after he served his sentence, he was deported to face charges, more charges. So good. Get rid of him. Don't come here. If that's what you want, don't come here. Don't come to Cambodia. We're not going to tolerate it. Ministry calls for the end of Shiva Lingam ceremony at weddings as it violates tradition. So here's a picture of the ceremony. So what you've got in a lot of the ancient temples and such, you have these two pieces here. The bottom piece is called a yoni, and the top piece is called a linga, and it's to represent the male and the female parts. And so they're pouring the water over it as a blessing for their fertility or whatever, right? However, the Ministry of Culture, now, I have not seen a wedding ceremony do this. Obviously, if you look at, this is some pretty fancy stuff that the wedding planners are now starting to include this as part of, because it's like taking, in their mind, and we'll get into it and what's said in the story. In their mind, they're thinking they're taking this ancient Cambodian practice and incorporating it into the wedding. Makes sense, right? It makes sense. But they're wrong. According to the Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts, who is calling for an end to this popular part of the ceremony because it actually deviates from Khmer traditions and customs. And how? Because it was an important ancient ritual, or ritual for ancient kings. Okay, not for the common people. All right, it was not for weddings. So they're calling for this to be, they're calling on the public and the priests that organize the wedding ceremonies and the wedding planners do not continue to do this in the ceremonies, because you need to avoid wrong practices and departures from the Khmer traditions. Now, quote, this ritual was traditionally conducted within the temple sanctuaries, typically at the central point of the temple, which represents the divine dwelling, or at other sacred sites associated with Lord Shiva. In the Brahmanic tradition, high-ranking Brahmins would conduct this ceremony as an act of devotion to the Shiva Lingam, seeking divine connection, spiritual purification, and blessings of strength and prosperity from Lord Shiva. It was done in the sense of worshiping the Shiva Lingam to connect with the gods, clear doubts, and wish to receive the power and prosperity of the god. There is no historical evidence that this Shiva Linga ceremony was performed during wedding ceremonies in Cambodia. And this ceremony does not bring happiness to the newlyweds. Therefore, they're appealing to people to stop it. Stop it. You watch Karen Reed, the Boston accent. Stop it. All righty. Next up, only two left. Sewer rat Police hunt for a suspect who fled into the Phnom Penh sewers. Ew. So there are some like open sewers. So they're like a canal that's an open sewer. And this picture is of that kind of area. All right. Police have come up empty-handed in the search for a suspect who fled into Phnom Penh's labyrinth sewer system. The dram, now this one I get, the drama unfolded, but it says the dram unfolded at 1 a.m. Okay, this is an open canal, open sewer. These are all the people like searching along here to try and find the guy. So he stole a motorbike and a phone, and then he ran into the sewage canal, disappearing. Police and authorities ordered a full-scale search, but were unable to locate the suspect. After the incident, due to a lack of a suspect, police dispersed. There's an end to the story. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yuck. All right. Last one. Video. Prime Minister urges Cambodian rappers to avoid inappropriate language in songs. Right, baby? Baby Wilbur. Sitting down right in front of the chat, of course. Rap songs do not need to include rude words. Maintaining dignity in the songs is also popular. He acknowledged that rap songs in America may contain rude words, but emphasized that such language is unsuitable for Khmer society due to Cambodia's rich culture and noble civilization. Culture for all for culture, he added, urging Cambodian rappers to refrain from using obscene words in their songs. He called on relevant ministries and institutions to monitor and prevent the production of such songs. We must work together to preserve our identity. We must develop, but not by imitating others. We must evolve distinctly Khmer with boundaries that reflect our rich culture, which is essential for our progress. I hope that the Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts will lead us and provide necessary guidance moving forward. There you go. What the Prime Minister says, the people do. So that's it. That's our show for today. Crazy crimes in Cambodia. Hope you enjoyed the entertaining misfortune of others. There's a German word for that. I don't remember what it is, but there's a German word for that. There's a baby. There's a baby. Baby Wilbur. Oh, I get to bring Spunky Monkey home tomorrow. Did you guys know that Spunky Monkey was in the hospital? Spunky Monkey had a, I knew something was wrong. Turns out there was a large stone in her bladder. So there was x-rays to find that, and then surgery to remove it. That was on Sunday. And so she's been in the veterinarian hospital, recovering, and I get to bring her home tomorrow. Interesting show. Thank you, Mumsy. Thank you indeed. Hope you also enjoyed Andy, and anybody else who's lurking. You're welcome to lurk. If you missed the beginning, just go ahead and we're wrapping up. So just watch the replay. But hey, before you go, don't forget that love transcends time and space. So wherever and whenever you're watching this, I love you. I do. I love you so much. And I really appreciate that you've chosen to spend your time with me today. And I hope you, cat's okay. And I'm gonna have to pay for that. But it's not much. It'll probably just be about $100. I'm expecting. Which is actually, I say it's not much. It's a lot for me. Okay, that's a lot out of my budget. But in the scope of veterinary veterinary bills that you might incur in the US. If you take your cat into the vet, they have to do x-rays, they have to do surgery, and they're kept Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then come home on Thursday. So 4 nights staying at the vet, all the medicines and whatever. $100 isn't much for all that care. But for me, yeah, it's gonna bite my budget for sure. Look at the lurking squirrels in the forest from Andy. So tomorrow we'll do some kind. Maybe we'll just do a general trivia. Maybe we'll do a movie trivia. I don't know. We'll do something. I'll be here, same bat time, same bat channel. So I hope you come back and join me again. And until then, catch you later.